The Vancouver Canucks are a hockey team that is held together by the will and sweat of a few players. You can say that the Abbotsford Canucks guys are doing their best to keep the team afloat, and I don't think that'd be too inaccurate. You saw Linus Karlsson score yesterday, assisted by Arshdeep Bains and Aatu Ratu. Those guys are essentially Abbey blood. The fact that you can say that these guys are being given some primary minutes just shows where the Vancouver Canucks' depth is at the moment, with all the guys that are out and all the guys that need to be replaced. With that said, though, the guy who is at the top of the Vancouver Canucks payroll, EP40, Elias Pettersson himself, a man who is so renowned that Frank Seravalli is using his name to throw shots at Michael Bublé. I wanted to go out there and make this video because we gotta give this guy some good vibes. He deserves it. Out of everybody on the Vancouver Canucks who is suited up for this team, who has gotten injured, who has gotten called up, I think the one guy who has probably been the best player so far is Elias Pettersson. And that's not even to say that he's fully living up to the potential of an $11.6 million player, or at least what an $11.6 million player should be. Can he be better? Can he produce more? I'd say probably yeah. But the issue is, with the Vancouver Canucks so depleted right now, it's kinda hard for him to do that. And with him being given all this defensive responsibility, stepping up to the task and actually matching it, whilst doing positive things in the offensive zone as well, I think Elias Pettersson is one of the guys whose sweat and tears are holding this team together by the threads that they stand on. And I wanted to use this post made on the Canucks subreddit to explain that here. Take a look at this. It was posted yesterday after Vancouver and Colorado's game. Petey versus McKinnon tonight. Elias Pettersson versus Nathan McKinnon at 5v5. Petey had 8 minutes against McKinnon head-to-head. Shots were 1-1. Shot attempts were 7-2 for Vancouver. And the scoring chances were 4-1. The goals themselves were 0-0. Meanwhile, this is the graph of other Canucks forwards versus Nathan McKinnon at 5-on-5. McKinnon spent 7.55 against Pettersson and 11.44 against everybody else. Shots were 7-2 for Colorado. Shot attempts were 16-12 for Colorado. Scoring chances were 9-4 for Colorado. And goals were 2-0 for Colorado. Essentially saying that when Elias Pettersson played against Nathan McKinnon, Vancouver was actually winning the battle. They had more opportunities, they had more shot attempts, they had the same amount of goals, they weren't getting outmatched. But when McKinnon was out there when Petey wasn't, that's when the Avalanche started to strike. That's when they scored twice. That's when the scoring chances got out of hand. In nearly 8 minutes of 5v5 time versus McKinnon, Pettersson outplayed and outchanced the best line and MVP favorite in the league. The rest of the team got smoked. If only Aquilini listened to Trevor, or Gillis, or Torts, and let this team build more talent. Now, that's another conversation for another day, but I do want to dive into some of these replies. One of the top ones from McNuck says, I know blaming the wingers is just kind of a tired excuse for Pettersson, but it's getting ridiculous now. He has rookie Lekaramaki, who had just returned from injury, and a washed-up Evander Kane. That's pretty awful for a first-line center. Top reply says, yeah, well, he did do well with Garland, but Garland's out with injuries. Story of the freaking season for the Vancouver Canucks. You've got Sexy Beaver saying this, Pettersson is looking fine out there. Being creative, shooting, skating. The team just has no talent at all. They found something with Lekaramaki or Karlsson on his wing. They just need Big Hog to come back and Kane to GTFO. Quinn also still looks him off every time to shoe his muffins, lol. What a painful season. I want to rebuild, but I hope everyone's ready for like 5 of these years. And so I guess now, maybe not like specifically now at this moment today, but like over the past few weeks, I think it's reasonable to start talking about the Vancouver Canucks and Elias Pettersson in a much different way than we're used to. No longer is it, oh, this guy's a 100-plus point superstar with hands like Datsuk and slap shots on the rush for days. But more so, it's, hey, this guy has a specific skill set that allows him to be effective at shutting down other teams' top lines whilst providing pretty good offense. Like, he needs to get his confidence up if he wants to be the most effective, but Pettersson is essentially filling the Alex Barkov role for the Vancouver Canucks. The only problem is Alex Barkov, when he plays and when he wins championships, he's got guys all over that can carry their weight and just do incredible things as well. Yes, Barkov was a Selke winner, but guess who was the runner-up? His own gosh darn teammate in Sam Reinhart, who, by the way, is also a 50-goal scorer. You've got Mrtka and all these top defensemen, a quality goaltender in net who stays in and who doesn't get hurt. I mean, it's a completely different animal with the Florida Panthers compared to the Vancouver Canucks. And even though Elias Pettersson can be in that Alex Barkov territory if he continues this play defensively for the rest of his contract, it's not going to matter much if the Vancouver Canucks cannot surround him and even Hughes with the talent to justify it. It's just so unfortunate, man. Like, this team is so bad. But Elias Pettersson has absolutely been an improvement over last season. Much to the dismay of many doubters who stepped out there and said that the guy was washed. Will he ever get 100 points in a season? I'm not sure. I'd probably say with this current outlook of the team and the personnel on it, I would probably guess not. But if the Vancouver Canucks can find someone within their organization to step up and be the Andrei Kuzmenko or the Tyler Toffoli to Elias Pettersson's center, that would be the ultimate compliment here. If it's a Lekaramaki, if it's a guy who just absolutely meshes, there's some Swedish chemistry going on, then maybe that is what it takes to get EP40 back to at least 90-plus point territory. And if he's able to provide that stable defensive positioning play and shutdown ability on guys like Nathan MacKinnon too, then you have a legitimate top Selke candidate, a guy whose reputation has very much changed from a few years ago when he had that 100-point campaign. It's certainly been a series of ups and downs, from the highs of that Kuzmenko season to the lows of the JT Miller feud year, over to now where he's playing well, but it's still a low because the team stinks around him. It's really unfortunate, but at the end of the day, I just wanted to give Petey some props because he definitely deserves it here. I think it's been too much for this guy over the past few years here. We gotta give him some love, don't we? If you enjoyed this video, feel free to hit the like button. If you didn't, hey, the dislike button is down there for you as well. Thoughts in the comment section below about Elias Pettersson and the story so far with him and his campaign. I hope you enjoyed this video. 99 and bye.